What I was trying to convey is the idea that one example of it would be too much. Could I kind of chorus?
Ita, yes,
Yeah.
yes, nimis, yeah.
Nimis. Ita, so nimis is like too much. Or nimio. Yeah. Et tu cuidagis hodie? I am a teacher of the Latin language and literature, which is one of my foremost passions. I also teach a lot of ancient literature from the Greek and Roman world. So I teach a lot of ancient myths and, plays, tragedies, epics, and I really, really love using the material from the ancient world to get students to think about moments and issues in history and also about important political issues in their own lives.
She tends to incorporate modern themes into her syllabus. For example, in one of the papers she teaches, she also includes Māori and Pacifica mythologies, which is really interesting. And some of her students are Māori and Pacifica, so they already kind of have a feel of how things are running in the class.
For me, it's about trying to open a space where students can bring their own expertise. So I try and find out from them what their background is. I try and find out from them, okay, if I say a hero who's good at this, what do you think of? If they say Maui, I go and learn about Maui and I try and come up with some good questions or, an image prompt or a discussion prompt that lets them further their inclusion of their own knowledge into the course. And it's not always about the identity between two concepts. It might just be a point of connection or even a point of really obvious dissimilarity. And then once they've got that sense that they can connect their new knowledge to their pre-existing knowledge, then we can work on analysing the similarities and the differences. So it's about enriching everybody's understanding of the knowledge that they come in with and expanding the knowledge that I want to share with them.
Max has this vibrant aura that as soon as you walk into the class, you just can't help but smile. And then her teaching style is just everywhere, like in a good way. Like her arms are just flinging everywhere, her voice modulation, she's always looking at people, she engages the students.
You can see the students just picking up on her excitement, her passion, her love of the things that it is that she's teaching, which is incredibly infectious for the students, and they just respond to that on an emotional level as well as an intellectual one.
When I'm presenting them with a new story or a new myth or a new historical figure, I will kind of act out what happens. If I'm introducing them to a new rite or act that's unfamiliar, I'll demonstrate it for them. So I'll go down on my knees and I'll demonstrate what it was like to supplicate a god or invoke a muse. And I find that kind of engages them and gets them into the material.
I'm just always impressed by how much Maxine is really thinking all the time about students. When she's thinking about her work, she's thinking all the time about how can I help them, how can I, share the enthusiasm and the passion that she has for her subject with those students.
I love that feeling when you walk into a room and I've got students there and I might have some teaching staff or some colleagues and I'm sharing ideas and I'm taking questions from the students and we create this kind of web of ideas and debate and discussion and the ancient material and our modern thoughts, and you can kind of feel people getting more and more energized as they come up with a really novel question or they have an idea that changes my perspective. And I walk out of those classes feeling so energized and excited because I just love connecting with people.